Because I heard the transition from the intro.
Let's try this again.
All right. I heard the transition.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you for joining us, Walking Dead heads. We've got some news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you. We're talking The Walking Dead on about Season 11, Episode 15. All right. Yeah, I'm Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
So, thanks for joining us. Whether you're new or returning, we appreciate you coming along for the ride because it's always something with us. And yeah, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time-ish, that there's a new episode. So for us, since we're a week ahead, we're going by AMC Plus. If you're watching on AMC, the channel, tonight you're watching episode 14, which is an amazing episode. I loved it. We're talking about episode 15 tonight, and next week is the part 2 finale. So that's our...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're here
already.
What part grossed you out in that episode?
The very beginning.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you know when we drop new videos and when we go live and all that great stuff. Yeah. Before I forget about all that stuff. Yeah, and don't forget to check out the website, www.broken.pictures.com. All right, special notes, just do what you need to do to stay healthy. I forgot to mention this to you, but, excuse me, next week, I might be driving back from Georgia.
Yeah.
My son is graduating from boot camp in the Army, so congrats, Josiah. And so we're going to go see him. And so are you free Monday night?
Like, the Monday after?
No,
Sunday?
just next Monday.
Yeah.
Well, not tomorrow Monday,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
had to think about it. I was like, wait, Dylan,
sorry,
how'd you
I'm
get the
asking
episode
you
already?
I'm asking you on air. Yeah, tomorrow night we're
Yeah.
going to do next week's episode. I got you. I'm tracking. I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm smelling what you're cooking.
It's always bacon.
It's always good. So, yeah, so next Sunday night, actually, even though I just said Sunday nights, we will probably not be going live on Sunday night. It'll probably be Monday night because I'll be driving back from Atlanta. Probably won't have time to watch it. And even if I do get back in time, probably going to be exhausted and trying to get the girls in bed and everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's about 8 hours at least for us.
To Atlanta?
Atlanta-ish. I mean, it's,
Oh, okay. Atlanta-ish. Atlanta proper. That's a long time. I know that drive. I made that drive.
8 or 9 hours, something like that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got. Just do what you need to do. Stay healthy out there. Most people are watching the Oscars right now, but not us.
Wait,
We're
Oscars tonight?
hardcore. Yeah,
Oh, goodbye.
we're hardcore doing the Walking Dead thing.
Chris Rock. The Will Smith slap Chris Rock. I'm sorry. You can't tell me before we go live.
I just got a notification that Chris Rock said something about Jada's hair and Will slapped him. Sugar honey, I see. Oh my.
I told you, Chris. I told you the last time.
I said she got the good hair. Didn't he do a documentary called Good Hair?
He did.
Anyways. All right, yeah. Let's let's stay with our audience.
Yeah, sorry.
So, yeah. That'd be your turn.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm good. Okay, everyone, this is your spoiler alert.
We watched Mean Girls last night, so with my girls. So, man, that was like, okay.
Oh, all right. Seriously, slightly. If you haven't left now, this is your last chance. This is your spoiler alert. In this episode of Broken Dead, we're going to be talking about Season 11, Episode 15 of The Walking Dead. So if you haven't watched that, pause this, go get AMC Plus, watch that, then come back. Unless you enjoy being spoiled, you have been warned.
We'll just wait for next week.
Yeah, we'll just wait for next week.
Yeah. So yeah, last week I tried to do it by myself and it failed. It wasn't me that failed. It was the internet. We had an outage. So yesterday I re-recorded last week, so you can go back and watch that. Especially if you're watching it on the channel. Yeah, now you're caught up.
Called up?
Boom.
Dang.
All right. Do you want to do your episode intro? It probably makes more sense to read the one that you found.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you still got it pulled up or not, but
Yeah, it's just right, it's like right over.
because for whatever reason, I don't know if it just didn't update properly, but the episode description is basically just the whole show description.
Yeah. So, what was it? It was...
I've got it written right here.
You got that one. Oh, that's the whole show description. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Very big.
There we go.
While you do that, I'm going to turn this heater off.
All right. Season 11, Episode 15, Trust. Hornsby marches Daryl and the troops to confront Maggie at Hilltop, while Rosita investigates the Miltons. That last part, once like you said, is very broad.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't mean Rosita. Oh, wait, hold on. I have the actual sound effect.
Yay.
But yeah, yeah, like we said, Rosita's like in there like a hard 20 seconds maybe.
21 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But she's the thread from last week about what happened. So.
Yep.
But so for whatever reason on like I get mine through Apple, AMC Plus through Apple and everything. It says in the following years of a excuse me. Oh, pardon me. That's the benefits of live stream right there, fellas. Yeah, enjoy that. It says in the years following a zombie apocalypse, survivors seek refuge in a world overrun by the dead. By the dead. You like how I read that? Dude, I've drank like this much of this energy drink, and I'm like, wow. I think it's time to switch to water.
Switch to water.
We'll just keep that off to the side. My liquid crack.
It's Woody Woodpecker juice.
If I start ramming my nose into this, there's like bath salts in my drink or something.
And then he flies off.
Man. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Wow.
Right.
Man.
Rate the episode. So, I'll go first since I was not here. I will give it 8.5 gray skies out of 10. I don't know if it was just me or if they actually did the thing that I think they did. Was there like a gray tint the entire show, like in this entire episode? Because I feel like every episode in this chunk of the season beforehand was brighter, but then literally the second, Ezekiel was up there talking to Carol under the umbrella. It's like, it seems like everything's a shade of gray now. Everything seemed gray to me.
Really?
It was gray skies the rest of the episode, and I was like, did they do this on purpose? So, yeah, even though it was sunny, it was gray.
It was like a psychological thing.
Maybe.
Maybe you just watched Batman too much.
Probably didn't. Doesn't help anything.
And then as soon as he says, you're the light, Carol, everything goes bling, back to normal.
So,
Somebody's playing with the color correction.
No one notices. This is my art.
This is what I have to say to the world. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh man, we got the giggles tonight. Two grown men. So okay. Yeah, so you said 8.5 gray skies, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I mean that seems about right for me. I was gonna say about 8 or 9. So, because I feel like it was a little slower paced than last week, and but there was some good stuff. Like I feel like the Ezekiel Carroll thing was necessary. But I feel like it was filler, and all the other stuff was like good stuff.
I think it was there because Ezekiel's about to get shot. I think Ezekiel's super about to die.
You think he's someone?
I think so. I think it's like I don't even know what you would call it. Not a double negative, a false positive. There you go. I think it's a false positive. Like Ezekiel has been saved. His cancer is gone. He's helping people. He started a whole foundation. It's like this man's gonna die.
Yeah. Now he's Carol's light.
Yep.
She said they're not getting back together.
Gotta snuff that out. So,
I mean, I could see what you're talking about, but I don't see the connection as to why he would be the one Sebastian knocks off, or if that's what you're talking about, or if he's just gonna die.
I think he's gonna die, but I don't know who's gonna kill him. And I also think he could. There probably will be another piece to it, but I think somebody's death or involvement in something will be the catalyst for the riots. Some folks switching sides, and then also what will lead to the eventual like. I also think Pamela might end up dying in this show. In the show, unlike she did in the comics. The comics, she was able to make peace. Everything was cool. I think she's gonna get killed.
Interesting. So, I mean, let's go ahead and just cover that Ezekiel Carroll and get it out of the way. So, I mean, I see your point. It does look like it's leaning that way as far as story arc goes, but I don't know that it would be connected to the whole greater Sebastian, Lance, Pamela Commonwealth thing, because I don't think he's well known enough. I don't think he's important enough to that community for his death to spark that type of thing.
Yes and no. Here's my argument.
Okay.
Only because he has created this essential rogue-free clinic. Quotations around all of that.
So he's the man of the people.
He's a man of the people. He's
always been.
As he always been. He's kind of in a little nest egg of I am King Ezekiel surrounded by animals again. And he is saving these folks' lives, even though like they know they can't go to the hospital, they know that they don't want to leave their families in debt, saving their lives for their families, and they may tell their folks like he was the one who ended up helping me to make sure that, you know, I got this surgery or whatever.
Unless it turns out that the person with the appendectomy that they were performing, they survive and they were like one of the leaders in the resistance or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I could see him being thrust into like importance or something like that. But at this point, I mean, possibly. But they've only got one episode to kind of
tie
flip that, and they've done that sort of thing before. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just
the next episode does look like it's gonna be a Leah heavy. I'm gonna go hunt because I'm Rambo episode.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, we see I almost said Carl, RJ and Judith going to school, and they, of course, RJ loves the Commonwealth. I mean, what is he? 7, maybe.
Normal life, thank you. This is all I wanted.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I wanted
All I wanted. Prince of Egypt. So so then it was gray skies. It was raining at that point, and they had that little thing. Ezekiel's doing a lot better, feeling great, recovering well, trying to show Carol, you know, hey, I took your words to heart. I really appreciate what you said to me. And that just makes me feel good that Ezekiel is back to being Ezekiel and he's making a difference. Although I would like to see it become like Ezekiel taking the place, like King Ezekiel, like the prominence that he deserves, instead of just being this B or even C character now on the show, who mingles with Carol, who's always like
because I know, sorry I interrupted, but he's supposed to be dead, so they don't know what to do with him. It feels like. Yeah. So I feel and that's also another reason, because I feel like they kept him alive this long, gave us the hope that he's gonna be fine.
Yeah. At this point, I kind of feel like everybody's getting a freaking spinoff, and they've just like basically kind of gathered the cast and it's like, okay, this is the last season. We're gonna do you guys right. Nobody's gonna die. But they're not telling anybody because I don't know. Everybody's got plot armor. He's about the only one that doesn't have a spinoff. So
him and Mercer
and Eugene.
Oh, don't kill Eugene. Eugene makes the railroad, and he gets married. I don't want Eugene to die.
Choo choo, baby.
Choo choo. Chugga, chugga,
I don't know why he came out as Johnny Bravo.
Because that's what he is evolving into.
Yeah. He's got the hot girlfriend, the hot Tina Fey nerdy girlfriend.
He shows up with sunglasses. Chugga chugga, good morning, everybody.
Wow. So, okay, I did notice something when Ezekiel and Carol are talking to each other. Carol's wearing a wedding ring. Yeah, so I noticed, I forget who it was on Twitter, lady that covers it all the time on Twitter. I cannot think of her name, or what channel she covers it for. I think it's for Entertainment Weekly, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Anyways, the point is, she's very prominent on Twitter and covers The Walking Dead a lot. Mm-hmm. She pointed out that Carol was wearing a wedding ring, and she was like, "Oh, are they? Aren't they?" But that was probably before the divorce where Carol said, "Hey, when I get back together, you know that, right?" Yeah. You keep saying that. He just starts pouring out that charm again. This is real in her back. And but yeah, so I was watching for it, and she was kind of like hiding her hands in her jacket, like almost like Melissa McBride, the actress, forgot to take her ring off. I don't know if she's married or not in real life, to be honest with you. Plus, I think she's, I wouldn't think she would do that. I think she's more professional in that, and they have to go through a whole big costume change and all that stuff. I don't think anything like that would slip through.
No, this isn't the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, especially multiple trips or takes and costuming, double checks and last looks and all that stuff.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they could have taken it out with editing. I mean, so it's almost like she forgot, but then she gets into the character, and towards the end of the conversation, while they're walking away, she pulls her hands out of her pocket and she's talking with her hands, and boom, there it is, wedding ring. And if I'm not, I mean, it looks like there's two rings. I mean, it's a wedding ring. It's not just a ring or an engagement ring. It's like an engagement and a wedding ring, right?
Yeah.
It's a set. And so she's talking to him, and we've been kind of wondering, because her and Ezekiel, like, she's going for it. She's putting herself out there for Ezekiel big time, and I know she has feelings for him and all this stuff, but it kind of made us wonder with them drinking wine together. Lose something? Oh. Shay's gonna be in the chat here in a minute.
not on the stream.
When? You're gonna get a Will Smith slap when you get out.
Please. Is there a video?
There's gotta be. There's gotta be, because I got like 3 notifications from different news sources. So that's going to be the new meme. What? So anyway, yeah, she's talking with her hands, and we've been kind of wondering, with her them two spending a lot of time together. Obviously, she's worried about his health, and she cares deeply for him. Even though they broke up, I don't know about you, but I don't seem to have that sort of relationship with my exes. But
No.
it seems like on TV, everybody's got an ex, and they just get along, and they're,
They're just like, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just chilling, drinking wine, hanging out at her place. So yeah, it looked kind of like they're back together, or at least considering it, or it had been months, that they've been there and everything. Things are good, settle down a little bit. He's giving her the kid's box. I forget his name.
Henry?
Henry's box, yeah. And so, I mean, they've got a special relationship, if nothing else. But either way, she had wedding rings on, so it was like, oh, did they get back together? But at the same time, obviously they don't live together, and she is telling him that she's too busy to go see his project. And she's swamped, because she spent the whole day yesterday pulling Daryl and Rosita out of the house in the middle of nowhere. So she's got some work to catch up on. So she goes, does her business, and Ezekiel goes and talks to Yumiko's brother. I can't remember his name.
I want to say it's Anthony or Tony, but
Tony sounds right.
Tony does. This feels right.
Feels right. We're gonna call him Tony.
We can call Tony.
All right. Yumatoni.
Tony.
So talks him into, he's got a friend with an appendectomy, a small procedure, outside the hospital, And I almost thought like he was doing a little Carol thing, that he was just kind of seeing how easy it would be to get something like this to make it work.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see what Carol did to make this happen for him. Because in the past he has rejected her going out of, and not been okay with her going out of the lines, coloring out of the lines to get things done.
Always been on the straight and narrow that Ezekiel.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
And then it really felt like I was like, I think him not having cancer anymore is making him way too bold for his britches, and he might end up getting shot in the knee. But we'll see.
Shot in the knee. Took an arrow to the knee.
Sweet adventurer. But I mean, and they ended up getting caught.
Yeah. It's like her brother was he was like, I'm so down. Let's go Solid Snake on this shit. He was like,
bros were just missing a cardboard box at this point.
As soon as he rounds the corner, he's like, whoa.
Dude looks down. What?
It was so comedic. I don't know. It was funny.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, Carol's got connections, and she apparently is like getting around, because this dude used discretion and knew her well enough to say, "Oh, this is Ezekiel. This is Carol's Ezekiel. Yeah. So let me go get Carol and not progress this, Yeah. So I mean, Carol's got connections already. We knew she was making waves with Lance, but I guess just being seen with Lance and being with Lance in and out every day, working with Lance, she's making headway.
Making them power moves.
Yeah. So she might be the one that gets taken out.
That's a potential possibility.
Yeah, if this whole Carol Darrow thing spinoff is fake.
There's too many false positives, Bill.
Too many false positives.
So, well, all right.
Yeah. So,
because I can see that. Oh, I can see that too.
So, Tony, Yumiko's brother, is freaking out. He's like, oh no, I lost a patient today. I can't have this. I'm screwed. How screwed are we? Blah, blah, blah. And Carol's like, I got you, fam. Don't worry. Carol Mama's here for you. And he's like, this isn't how things work here. You don't understand. She's like, sure. Let me just get those cuffs off for you, baby.
Things work the way I need them to work. And right now,
do you know who I am? Ezekiel's just like, yeah, I knew name dropping didn't work. So it was a fun story.
Fun.
Yeah. So they get there and it looks like a vet clinic, but apparently he's called in a bunch of other. I don't know about a bunch, but some other of the doctors that work there, and they're
the
running
nurse that was checking his stuff the day before his surgery. Jerry has to know, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get no Jerry screen time this episode.
Yeah, that's true. Jerry's out recording Aquaman.
Wait, is he for real?
No, he does the voice for the
okay.
cartoon. He plays, yeah, he does the voice for Aquaman on the cartoon.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I was surprised not to see Jerry there. At least, the very least, just like, hey, boss, you know, like, you know, poor Jerry doesn't get enough screen time either. It's the same deal. Every time we get more characters, more communities, those characters just kind of fall off, and that sucks. Yeah. But at the same time, they've also got other things going on.
It also could mean that they're safe and we don't get to see them die, or they won't die.
Like Yumiko, the lady that plays Yumiko, Eleanor, I forget her name. She's pregnant in real life, and they just, I think they're filming the finale of the season, and I don't think they've wrapped on it yet. But excuse me, I don't know if they're like, when she posted the picture, she's like, she got a belly, like it's obvious. So I don't know if they've played into it somehow. I don't know who she'd be with at this point to be showing that like that, but or if they killed her off. I don't know, because she's pretty high up too.
She is.
Although we haven't seen her enough to care if she dies.
If the Civil War happens, she's up there. She gets invited to those parties. If they start targeting folks in high-ranking positions throughout each job or branch of the Commonwealth, she could be just a casualty of war.
And that might tie in later with Max talking to Pamela and then getting her involved, Yumiko involved, to deal with Sebastian or something. I don't know.
Could be. Sebastian could kill her.
Yeah, very possibly. They could pull that in real quick. Probably not next episode, I would think.
Yeah.
Probably not getting that death next episode. I don't think. Maybe, but
we've gotten character deaths, but we haven't had like a major character death
in a while. Well,
Alden, but that
he
died the second that they said we'll be back. The second.
Yeah,
And I was like,
in part 1.
Yep.
So, but he counted as the major character death for part 1, I think.
I was like, he's gonna be dead. If he is alive by the time they come back, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
It's hard teetering back and forth between hope and dark, being the dark side there, you know. Because you don't want to just be too dark all the time. Nobody's going to want to watch it because you get depressed. And then you don't want to be too hopeful because it's like, oh, come on, this is the zombie apocalypse and people need to die, you know. So yeah, they get there and there's some animals and stuff, and they got the other doctors, and he goes to work on Teresa and almost loses her and sends the other doctor that helped him kind of set it up back to get more antibiotics, and Carol jumps in without even washing her hands and starts dabbing there.
Yep. Do you know what happens when your appendix bursts? When your appendix bursts?
Not exactly.
So, your
explosions on your inside of your body.
Explosions on your inside. So
chain reaction. Your stomach explodes. Your kidney explodes. Your liver explodes.
You're not wrong. So basically, all like the little fluid that's inside of your appendix, because you need it taken out anyway.
I'm sorry. I need to lay that energy drink. Good God, here it goes. None of us will sleep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It poisons your entire body. Like if you leave the fluid from your burst appendix in there, you'll end up poisoning everything, and you'll have organ failure.
Oh, okay.
So he
like,
had
sepsis or that kind of thing.
So that's what he was doing. He had to cut out a little bit left of the appendix, and then he had to clean everything out. Clean
Flush it
off
with saline.
Yeah, and make sure that there was nothing left, because if he closes it up after that, it's going to get infected, and then that's game.
Yeah, because it's already internal. Yep.
So,
Oh, that makes sense.
so yeah. And then not being in an actual hospital, that's just a whole nother
Yeah.
thing. Whole nother thing.
When they didn't even wash their hands, just throw up on a trough or something.
Yep.
So yeah, apparently the director of this episode used to be a longtime cast member on ER. So this was like right up her alley to do this stuff, kind of stuff, and she was really down for it and knew what she was talking about. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, gets it taken care of, sews her up, and now we just wait. Then Carol and Ezekiel have their moment where he lets her know, really appreciates it, and that she's his light, and that she makes light happen, and that because Carol is a character who has carried darkness and struggles with this. Even when things are good and well, she is just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And of course, with COVID, a lot of us kind of feel that way this past 2 years.
Yeah.
So we can relate to on some level. Obviously, we didn't have Ed in our lives, all of us. But so Ezekiel, just being in therapy for her and therapeutic and trying to help her get through this and realize that there's more. So I can definitely see what you're talking about. Like these are like eulogy words, right?
Yeah,
These are last words type things that but I mean, with him having a brush with death, that makes sense. But on the show, like, what are we gonna do with you now?
Yeah. Well, there's also the other side of it too, since you just said it. If the Carol Darrow show is also a fake, and Carol's gonna be the one who dies and is the catalyst and is Ezekiel's life, then Ezekiel, starting his way, making his own rounds of being known throughout the community and everything, it would also make sense if Carol died. Ezekiel would turn into Dark Ezekiel and then start rampaging.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I could see if Ezekiel were the one to die, how that could push Carol. Like if they fridge Ezekiel for Carol, and that pushes her in a positive, and she's living for Ezekiel, and his memory, and she starts putting all the close deaths she's had in a different light because of Ezekiel and what he said and his death and all that stuff. That would be huge healing for her. And that would be another reason why her and Daryl might just hit the road. She's just like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go.
These two characters' fates are intertwined. You choose the red or the blue.
What if I take both of them?
No. So yeah,
You get the green.
I think they're
That's not green. That's purple. That's purple.
What are you?
Wow.
If you're colorblind,
I'm
it's
not,
okay.
and I'm a graphic designer, so that's not good on me. Doesn't reflect well on me. I should know my colors pretty well.
It's all right.
Color theory is a big part of what I do. So So I think from that. Oh yeah, she tells him, "Hey, we're not getting back together." We mentioned that. So obviously confirming that they're not together and that she does not see a future with them at this point. But being Ezekiel, he's hopeful.
He's hopeful. He's always trying. So.
And I think that might have been it for that.
Yeah, for that storyline. Because they did a lot of jumping around to make it. Which is fine.
I think that's probably why this episode seems slower, because last week there was only the two main storylines and they were pumping along. And this one just kind of like, they were pumping and then they go to Ezekiel and Carol.
They kept jumping back.
Yeah.
Jumping from the crazy things to the slow things.
Conspiracy theories and
Yes.
Lance doing his thing.
So yeah, Lance. Wait, was there only two or is there three? Well,
There's three, because we open the episode with
there's one that's
Bath
really-
Salt's face there. He's got his face Toby.
Oh
He
yeah.
got his face eaten
Yeah,
off.
Listen to the Liquor Man.
Yeah. So yeah, not the Wicker Man, but the Liquor Man. So I mean, I said last episode that like when they opened up on the ones laying on the ground, before like alluding that, and that's where they ended up the episode as well. Kind of bookmarked it there. That I was like, man, we really haven't just seen like gross zombies in a long time with the flies and all this stuff. And I was like, man, that was kind of nice. But man, they stepped it up this episode. We opened. I was like just sitting there eating my dinner. I was like, all right, here we go, Walking Dead. I haven't just like eaten watching the Walking Dead in a while. And sure enough, blah, ripped up flesh on the face.
Oh,
So I was like, respect.
yeah. He did not have a pleasant death.
No, he got everything he deserved.
He really
He
did.
did deserve it.
Oh man, everything was broken when he hit the ground.
Yeah,
He,
he
like-
squealed like a girl on the way. Ah!
So
He was a fun character. I liked him.
yeah.
The guy played him really well. I was kind of unsure with him at first, but anyways, moving on to this episode, because we didn't get to talk about last episode.
Yes.
It was a great episode.
It was. So let's go through Eugene.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because we get that moment where Mercer's laying in bed with his big old hairy manliness, and
Yes.
then she just rolls over. The alarm goes off, and sure enough, no longer princess, but the queen.
The queen is here.
The queen has arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude. At first I was like, who is that? Then I saw the tattoo, and I was just like, that's princess. That's princess. Yes. It's like you. I love her in real life too. Like I follow her on social media, and she's awesome. Like, yeah.
So it's yay, Princess and Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
It's very happy.
And this has been going on for a while.
It
And
has.
they're just kind of like getting in the
Yeah.
groove, and so
Wow.
that was nice. That was
It's
real
really,
nice.
yeah. I enjoy their relationship. I enjoy the fact that it's showing a softer side to Mercer.
Yeah.
She makes.
He's gonna start doing shaving commercials real soon. I mean, he could. He's like, dude, it's hairy. But
Boy, howdy.
But Mercer is one of my favorite new characters, and so I love Princess too. So seeing those two together just really made my heart happy.
Yeah.
Along with Ezekiel, like there was a lot of hope in this episode. Ezekiel's doing a lot better
Way
too.
too much hope.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's nothing wrong with it. They just give it. They give it in abundance. I mean, something's about to get ripped away.
About to take it away. So Princess, being the person with mental health struggles that she has been and is able to sense that something is not quite right with Mercer there, and he's, hey, you don't sleep very good, and something's on your mind, and he's like, and then he pulls back immediately, just like soldier, puts the walls up.
It's like, oh, this is my wall. Here's the door. Goodbye.
She's like, I got you. Okay, cool. Good listener. See? Mm-hmm.
It's like, yep, I'm gonna go just curl back over in bed. Goodbye, sir.
Yeah, she didn't go all Latino on him,
No.
which I was kind of expecting. She was a very, very understanding, compassionate, empathetic person. Even with, I think the first big relationship she's had in God knows how long. She was in Philly by herself with.
Feeling alone.
She was doing I Am Legend, talking to mannequins and stuff.
They were there. They just were chained up and couldn't eat her. So, she had company. Not good company, but she had company.
Yeah. But now she's got like cream of the crop.
She
scored
has
big.
A whole dude who says, "Are you not entertained?" every time he
Hold
walks
on, baby, I
out.
gotta put my sherbet on and go to work.
He walks to the tailor. I need the tightest shirt you have, like a shirt The Rock would wear, but for me.
Dude is freaking Bo too. Like we got a whole set, a whole scene of him just going through his workout routine. Like he probably did 5 different workouts. It's just like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like, I do not like. I don't envy this man. Like how many takes? How many takes? This man must be wore out.
No pain, no gain.
I know, because like when he was first, like when she first walked in on him, and he was doing the cannonball or dumb kettleball. Thank you, with one arm. I was just like, switch arms.
Switch arms.
It's like because as an actor, it's like you're gonna have to do like several different takes with that one arm, and you're gonna have to switch it up so that you don't wear that one arm out and you just looking like all beastly one arm, but yeah. And then he just jumps up there and just starts cranking them out. And I was just like, bruh, like, can you pick like easier workouts to like? Man,
it's like no.
It's like the choices this man made
for
these workouts.
I'm training to fight Batman every day.
Like you could just see those tendons rippling by the end of it when he was talking to his sister. He was just like. So yeah, he puts the wall up, and Princess is like, okay, I got you, I respect your space. And so then I think he gets up and goes to work. She stays, and she's obviously not happy with it, and there's the tension. And then we get the scene with, I think that's it. We get the scene with where Rosita has confided in Eugene, and so she knows from his experience. I'm pretty sure he told her what happened. Not necessarily figuring out Max, but at least she knows about the situation where he was trying to find Stephanie.
Yeah.
Because she tried to help him out with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know by the end of it if by the end of the episode, I think it was kind of like where they both kind of resolved that he just told her that she broke up with him. So maybe that's as far as she knew. But either way, she I don't know, but for whatever reason, she went to Eugene.
Yeah. And
she told him, and then Eugene got a hold of Connie and Kelly, and they brought in the list and everything, which I forgot to mention in the last episode. April is on that list. Obviously, they made that clear this episode. But they did say 30 to 40 people had been killed on little missions in that house. But that they said that Rosita said that there was more people on that list than 30 or 40. But to me, it didn't look like more than 30 or 40. But
I think there might be other missions, because we also don't know for sure. You said this last episode, I'm sure, that if this is the only little money heist that he has sent folks on.
I didn't say that, but that's true. That's true.
So that it leaves it very up in the air if his mom is even like actually cut him off. That is something that, oh hey, well, thank you. If that is even true, or he's just doing it just to do it, because he could just be burning the money afterwards. Who knows? Like he could be.
It's interesting that they're using the same money as before, but I guess to kind of make it feel like the old world. But I don't know. As much as
that good old oppression feel to it.
It's like, we're just like, we're America.
We're America. How much was minimum wage? Oh, minimum wage. Oh, okay. We're gonna pay you $1. Mm-hmm. Just $1.
Yeah. Oh, we're in the apocalypse. You just be glad that you have a job and you're not out there.
Break glass. Get ready to start a riot.
Yeah, because we saw like they built up the classism big time in part 1, and now they're kind of building toward that, especially with playing Eat the Rich at the end of one of the episodes where Rosita discovers the resistance. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're definitely going that direction. There's no doubt. I mean, and that's a big part of the comic as well. That storyline.
Yeah, and then I mean, Carol discovered everybody kind of had their, what do you want? No. Okay. Everyone kind of discovered all at once. Well, Daryl a little bit before that. The closer you get to the top, the more rotten it is in the core.
Yeah.
Even Mercer is like, he is even playing a game of like, I'm not going to get too close to this because I have too much to protect, and I can't let my sister end up taking the punishment for something if I do decide to do something.
Right, about the radio.
Yep.
And it's interesting to me that Mercer has been like all about just like you gotta play along, you gotta play your part, but he feels like he's the one that's holding everything together. Is what I gather from the conversation, even though, like I'm still trying to wrap my head around like Pamela thinks that she's holding everything together. Lance thinks he's holding everything together. Mercer thinks he's holding everything together. Like, I understand that everybody's doing their part, but surely they can't all think that they're the one.
How many legs does it take to make a table?
At least 3. Yeah, okay. But I mean, I don't know. I guess, so Pamela, I don't know how corrupt Pamela is. I mean, I know she's a politician, but she might end up being the one, well, outside of Mercer. Well, I was going to say the one with the cleanest hands, but Mercer killed 2 of his people, so maybe not.
Were they
for
his
good reason.
I don't think they were like they were his people, but they weren't his people.
Yeah, but getting inside his head, that's how he feels about it.
Yeah.
And that he's and in the comic he ends up turning, and I think that's just who he is as a person. Like, he is trying to do the right thing and keep everything going, and just kind of minimize the effect that Sebastian and Lance are having. And I don't think he fully realizes the depth Lance is involved in with his secret police, and
I think
Shiva, whatever her name is.
He may know some of it, but he's not digging further into it, because then it would be obvious that he's digging further into it. And so he doesn't want to draw any attention to himself or any type of heat there. Because
maybe he's turned a blind eye, and Max is just... Because Max in Pamela's office seems completely unaware of any of this. But Mercer, I mean, he's obviously had to deal with Sebastian, so he knows there's bullshit going on.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of turned a blind eye and kind of chalked it up to, like, this is just, you know, how you make the sausage, right?
Yeah.
This is the underbelly.
So and there's this weird thing of that's the weird part of all of it, I guess, is what Sebastian is saying. His mother's disappointed in him. His mother's cut off his line of credit, so which is weird. Yeah. That sentence alone.
There's like a whole banking system, but they've got like what was it, 50 to 100,000 folks there.
Yeah. So yeah, mother's disappointed him, cut off his line of credit, so he needs money. He's saying all these things that make it seem like, well, not make it seem like there's like obviously Pamela is heavily disappointed in him and just doesn't want really anything to do with him. And even though he might try and do something to prove himself, she still thinks he's just a little teat sucker and needs to go somewhere.
Yeah. And I appreciate that about her, is that that's why he feels that way, because he is. And she sees him for what he is, and she does not approve of it, and she's actually not enabling him. But I think it's Lance that's enabling him so that he becomes a thorn in Pamela's side, so that Lance can kind of power grab out from under him, because he knows that Sebastian is not a threat.
Yeah, to keep her offset, basically. Yeah. So that she can't be firmly planted, her feet can't firmly ever be planted in the ground, so she can't firmly look around or quickly look around and see, oh, hey, what are you doing over there?
Yeah. And I think she would rather not, too.
Yeah.
That it's just easier for her to live her life and not worry about what Lance might be doing on the weekends.
Yep. Probably as well.
I mean, she seems fully aware of the type of person that Lance is, because she called him out on the trip. And she was like, look, ambition is going to get the best of you, da-da-da. So she's fully aware, but I don't think she understands to what degree as well.
Also, while you have Mercer, who is the literal face, and Maxie.
I mean, I knew he was the hero, and then we had kids dressing as him. But then this one, like, there are posters with him on it, and he's basically the Uncle Sam.
And Max said, like, the communities, they all love you. They would back you if, stuff went down. And he hears that, and he's like, and that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because then they would end up, if I try to do anything, they would end up tearing me down, discredit me, shame me in any way, and then all of what's left is going to fall on you, and I'll probably be dead and gone, is how he's probably thinking, because that's how I would think if I was in that situation.
Yeah, I can see that. He's trying to do the right thing, keep his head above water, keep his hands clean, and just do the right thing, and hopefully still, like, be the one that keeps things on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
Despite what Lance is, kind of like to be the answer of what whatever Lance is doing. He's the one that kind of, drags it back on the right path. That makes sense. Now that we kind of talked it through, is to get in his head about it, because he seems very upset that Max wants him to shake the boat on it.
Yep.
And he has been thinking about this, and it's been getting to him, and obviously at this point, the boiling point where he couldn't deal with it anymore. They've killed over 30 to 40 folks, and he just straight up shot the people. And siding with Daryl, and helped Rosita and Daryl even hiding the cash and everything to get them through the gates. And so in that in itself, Sebastian could spin to like, oh yeah, Mercer was in on it. How else could they get the money in? Whatever. Yeah. So there are things that he, they could put on him. But Max has a point, like when she was talking to Eugene saying, hey, we can't unhear what we've heard. Like, we've got to do something. And I appreciate that about her, that we finally got folks with a moral compass again.
Yeah. Instead
of just like, oh, well, so-and-so's just doing horrible things. Maggie's trying to kill Negan. Or, it's like Negan's more than redeemed himself, and we're just gonna pretend this bad thing, horrible thing ain't happening. Yep. And she's like, no, we can't do that. So if she's the new Herschel, the new Glenn, whatever, what always happens to the moral compass?
Don't stop. Don't kill me. Eugene needs his hot nerdy wife.
He does.
To make trains. I just want him to make trains.
This is not that type of show.
Just want to make trains.
Anyway. So yeah, she's trying to do the right thing, and I couldn't, like, when that guy came in to like clean her office or whatever unannounced. He might have been one of the plumbers, one of Lance's CIA people or whatever, that you kind of like, following them and reporting back to Lance what's going on. Like, he's like the Viserys of like from Game of Thrones, where he's got all his little birds. Except his little birds kick ass.
Yes.
They're not children.
Not children.
Yeah, and they fake relationships and sex with folks, and
all sorts of things.
Dude,
yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty dudes. Not dirt cheap.
So yeah, I mean, she's in the Viper's Nest. It's like she's right there next to Pamela. If there is just even so much as the hint of her doing anything foul play, Mercer had to cover up the whole thing with the radio.
And she understands that there is some give and take with safety, and there's a reason why she's not supposed to be communicating with people on the outside or whatever, which is debatable, whether that's too far or not. But she gets it. It makes sense for that world, I guess.
She doesn't want. I mean, they also don't want to go as much as they would wipe out just about anybody if they went and had a full-scale war, just about. That's the key word.
Those soldiers
there.
seem pretty inept.
They're also soft. Like there is a degree. I think the group.
They seem pretty impressed by the fact that Aaron and Gabriel can just wipe out walkers easily without breaking a sweat.
Without even using weapons. Well, I mean, not using guns. Without using guns, they use weapons. Because, like, there are, and I'm pretty sure you could take this literally anywhere in the world that has zombies. There's going to be degrees of folks who are deeper in the world as it is now. Commonwealth, they're in the world, they understand, but some of them, they might have been there since they were kids, and when they hit 18, they decided to join the army, and that's what we are now. Like the folks that Leah had killed, they seemed all fairly youngish. So they, within the past 10 years ago, they could have just been a teenager. And so that someone who is a hardened soldier.
Yeah, because they've gone up against these groups for years and years and almost not made it out alive, and been destroyed several times. And our group, we're seeing that our group is like level 10, man.
Yeah.
There's like Mercer is like their top soldier.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yeah, they're like me.
They're on par with me. Let's go. Right,
yeah. And so he's trusting them. Like he sees what Daryl can do, and he's like, okay, yeah, I respect that. So it seems, but if that's the case, then the entire Commonwealth is like super soft. And like, how did they get that? How did they fight off other places? Just numbers and guns.
Numbers and guns.
Because or is this connecting to CRT? CRM? Yeah, the CRM and these other communities.
Because there's still that herd community that we know nothing about.
Yeah, where Michonne went, and then there's the almost said the momentary.
the monument.
The monument.
Yeah. From
World Beyond. So and, it's a CRM that's in fear with Jadis and everything.
Yep. So yeah, it's a degree. Like you're saying, it's certain degrees of it.
The CRM, like I think each one represents a community. If I'm not mistaken, I thought C meant Commonwealth, but I think they may have confirmed it to be something else. Of course, M is
monument.
The monument. I'm saying it again. And so it's like these three communities that work together, but the faction that we saw that was like in fear, and they were testing zombies and how long they could remember things after death and all these different things. They seem to be like the science research and development / military arm of this group, because they're the ones with the helicopters and they're getting all these A's and B's and all these different things, right?
Yep. And it's in Commonwealth. We haven't seen that in this season of The Walking Dead.
But according to Scott Gimple, it's coming. It's coming this season. So, whether it's next week or not, we'll see.
We'll see. Who knows? Next week could blow our minds entirely.
I really hope so. Yeah. That there's some connection to Rick.
Some way.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Connie and Kelly are going to kind of take this from the
one of them might die
news
too.
Reporter angle, where they've kind of ruffled feathers with Pamela and all these things. But I think they're going to find out quick that Pamela really doesn't know much, and that it's Lance. So they're going to take the investigative reporter route with Eugene, which that makes sense. We saw the episode where Eugene is very effective at that. With Rosita, being that arm. And if they get Carol involved, who obviously is on to Lance, and Lance is on her shit list after the end of last episode. Then we've got Mercer that's finally deciding to step up and do something, and has confided. And Max obviously is on their side, so they've got people on the inside and people on the outside, and they're starting their own secret police. I guess I don't know. That's probably not police, but their own investigation.
Yeah.
They're plotting, right?
Secret society.
Secret society. There you go. And secret society, man. We have to have a handshake. So yeah, Mercer is deciding to step up. It seems like he's obviously done the decision, and now he's wavering back and forth, and he's already sleeping with the enemy. And Max is on his back about it. Oops, I just broke my pen.
Toast.
So, yeah, Max is on his butt about it, and he's gonna flip. He's gonna flip. I think he's already flipped. He's just wrestling with the consequences that are coming for it.
Yep.
And so he goes back to Stephanie. Not Stephanie. That's her real name. Princess's real name is Stephanie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He goes back to Princess and confides in her, and just such a heartfelt moment. But the entire time, I was really concerned that somebody is overhearing them in the hallway, because he's basically just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I killed 2 people," and she did not even flinch, man. She was just like, "Okay, we're gonna get through this. Where are the bodies?" It's like she trusts this man.
Yep.
And so yeah, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna have, they're gonna make up. And so yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see that Princess and Mercer are together, and that Princess is going to be in on this pretty soon too.
Yeah.
And obviously with that connection to Eugene, and that they had in the last episode where Eugene was trying to find Stephanie.
All roads lead to war.
Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all coming back around together. So yeah, anything else on that that angle?
That angle's done.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before they get in contact with Aaron and Gabriel. Yep. And somehow, but Daryl said that they're not going back. So
Daryl, Aaron, and
there's gonna be 2 fronts at least.
There's
like a political there's like a political front,
political intrigue of then actual fighting.
Yeah, and then like straight up Hilltop versus
Commonwealth, which is a massacre off the cuff. So unless they have a tank hidden somewhere.
Okay, so are you talking? Does that happen in the comics?
It happened in the prison, but it doesn't. I mean, Commonwealth has a tank.
Oh, they do. Oh, they literally have a tank.
They literally have a tank. So, but yeah.
But in the comics, do they destroy one of the communities in the comics?
I can't remember which one, but yeah, they end up destroying one of the communities, and they end up, not too long after that, is a lot of talking, and then the truce. So that's like the climax is in the like burning a community down. So.
Okay, so that's coming, and obviously Maggie has plot armor. Daryl and Carol have plot armor. They might as well just announce.
Negan has plot armor.
Yeah, Negan has plot armor.
Negan's wife.
Of course, there's a whole
Yeah.
Baby doesn't.
Oh damn.
They haven't killed a baby on the show yet.
I was about to say Judith, but I was like, no, she's a grown man now.
Yeah. In the comics, Judith died early on in a very gruesome way.
Yeah. Governor is a sick man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Gracie, they didn't kill. They abducted her, and
Abducted.
Or Adam.
Yeah.
They very kind to babies in the apocalypse.
They don't kill babies.
Might be the first. We'll see.
Oh man.
Pregnant.
Of course it's Negan's. Of course
it is.
Ah.
Yeah, Negan's got another wife.
Yep.
That's what Negan does. He gets wives.
And Negan never comes back. So also, the Negan story is completely
whole
hullabaloo out of the blue. Because after he leaves, there's a one-off comic of him meeting up with another group, but he ends up having to kill the entire group because there's a whole bunch of psychopaths. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah. They might as well just go ahead and announce the Gabriel and Aaron spinoff as well, because everybody's getting a spinoff. You get a spinoff, and you get a spinoff.
You get a spinoff? You want a spinoff? Who are you? I don't know. You get a spinoff. Walking Dead.
The Max and Mercer spinoff. Family ties.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, Gabriel, Aaron, and Daryl, shit hit the fan very quickly.
Yeah, like they started with Lance calling them out and not believing him. It was like, that's the story you're going with, right? And they're just like, yeah, pretty much. Guys. That was a nice little moment, but I was just like, bruh. And then even Daryl, like when he was like, yeah, I believe him. That's what they said happened. And
with these guys
so Lance leaves, and he doesn't even like look back. Like he's convinced that's bullshit, and he just walks out and he's like, all right, we're gonna follow this thread. We're just gonna go looking everywhere because there's dangerous people out there. We gotta find them.
On the way to Hilltop, did you catch what he did?
Not exactly.
He had never seen them actually fight before.
Oh, okay. He tested them.
He tested them.
Like, what are we up against?
Yeah, to see how good they actually are. And then that's why I was like, didn't even break a sweat. Neato burrito. And they also made...
He seems like very excited. He was just like, oh.
And turns out Lance is just cut for no reason. And he's just waiting for the moment. It's like, this is even my final form.
What was it? Was like Batman Arkham Asylum with the Joker at the end? Just like... drink the Bane juice. That's gonna be Lance.
That's gonna be Lance.
We're going full Resident Evil.
What you call it? And also, at the beginning of the episode, they showed us that where they were was made into a crime scene. Mm-hmm. So, if it's an actual crime scene and they're taking actual forensic evidence, and he had someone actually stay back and like check a few of these zombies and see if these marks would match any of the marks from our soldiers back there.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty clever. Yeah, because I mean they've got precincts. Like I think the precinct that Daryl and Rosita were at last week was precinct 5. So they've got a working police force and military, obviously, but
so
it's very possible that they've got forensics.
Lance could just be like holding all that back until the end. I mean, he already didn't believe him. So he's just like,
he's just waiting to see how far they're going to go with it.
It's like, come on, guys, it's fine. And he was, oh boy, there were so many times he's like, I freaking got you. Checkmate. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Shoot. There was something.
The truck?
But I thought it was before the truck.
The gate?
Yeah, the gate. So they get to the gateway, and I think once they round that corner, it's like they show Daryl, like he looks up and he's just like, oh shit. Like he didn't know they were going to Hilltop. Like he made that trip so many times.
Yeah.
And so Lance is convinced that they're working together and Maggie got the guns, and Maggie don't trust him, because Lance is Lance, and he's he's the CIA, he's the KGB.
Yep.
I don't know which one's worse, to be honest with you. KGB is
the devil. I
was gonna say it was dissolved, but
by principle, KGB, because the CIA is the devil we know, kind of. So by principle, no, it's still nothing, but we know equally more nothing.
Yeah. CIA's been going a lot longer. Anyways, Putin was in the KGB, and he's running the country now, so...
Yeah. Anytime anyone says that, I'm like, that's... Somebody could have stopped.
By that token, Bush Sr. was in CIA, and he ran our country, too, so... But he stepped down.
He stepped down. He was a one-termer.
Did he though? Because his son. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyways, okay, let's get back on track here. It's pertinent. It makes sense. It's connected.
It's connected. Just wait. So yeah,
Lance is like the head of their secret police, their SS or whatever. And so yeah, he's toying with him, and he's like talks to Maggie, and Maggie just basically we get that 6-month time jump, like we're there.
So we know now.
For whatever reason, I thought Mercer was in those scenes, and so like I've been like, oh yeah, it's fake, and Daryl just hasn't gotten word to Maggie, and him and Mercer are gonna like do something, you know. But bruh, whoops. Mercer was not there, and Daryl was trying to save Bloodshed.
Yeah, it was a few. I feel like different shots, but it was the same scene because I can't remember if Daryl was bloody, like if his suit was like bloody looking.
All I remember is him getting that scene and walking up, and he takes it off, and it's Daryl. Yeah, which makes sense. Like Daryl, like Lance keeps reminding Daryl that he's a soldier, like he's in the Commonwealth, like you belong to me, like you're government property. Put that helmet on, soldier. Come with me, soldier.
Yep, and that would keep you. Surprised Daryl hasn't shot that man in the knee. But yeah, he was able to talk to Maggie, let Maggie just let us in, we'll check, we'll leave. That's it. And Maggie's like, fine, whatever, to let them in, but I don't wanna.
Yeah, but I'm still kind of disappointed. Like it seems a little forced the way they played it off. Like it was like, it ain't got to be this way. Yeah, it does. Instead of just like, hey, I don't want anybody to die today. You know what I mean? He's like, he just come at her like aggressively, like taking off his uniform. Like I don't know. It just seemed like another false positive. It was just like that really wasn't what it was. And I get that there's always some aspect to that, but this really seemed like they really just faked it.
But maybe they actually faked it. They faked it so good that the faking looked like they faked
it. What? Are you sure you're not on call in the writers' room?
I mean, so I think they was made to
we're
look.
We're gonna bullshit our way all the way through this season. And let me tell you how we're gonna do it.
I think it was made to look like it was forced and fake to give that illusion of that this is actually what's happening. If that makes any sense.
No.
So all right. Bear with me.
Okay.
Aaron and Gabriel. They were there, but so was everybody else. Maggie, Negan, all them. Herschel, Herschel left his hat. Poor Herschel, you dumb child. And
is he though?
I mean, he was smooth about the
grown man Herschel.
He was smooth like my mama said. A bad man killed my daddy.
You look like a bad man to me. I'm all out of bubble gum.
And so Gabriel, I hear myself, hold on. Gabriel and Aaron, they're like, so we're going to call this in, but Lance is probably going to show up. And we might, if they're thinking logically, we might end up having to come to Hilltop. If these folks are going with you, you need to A, find somewhere to hide them, and then B, we got to make it look like we know nothing, you know nothing, but for some reason we all are knowing nothing.
Right. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, why make it look like you have something to hide? Because they still haven't found the weapons. They think they took the weapons. Why not just be like, hey, look, we don't have the weapons?
To get Lance to show us.
Okay.
To make it look like you have something to hide. Lance then goes in there as like normal Lance. Aaron, I'm sorry, he's kind of seen Lance, like the actual Lance's actual form. But he goes in there.
Final form.
He goes in there. He's as he was kind of aggressive, a little pushy on things, Maggie's very uneasy about him being there or showing that she's uneasy.
Man, that whole truck scene was just like,
Yeah.
him. Oh, hey, I know how this works. There's some mud here. Yeah.
Frustrate him to the point to where he F's up to give them a reason to not necessarily do something, but like push him out and make it look like there's nothing else here. You're just being a dick.
Okay, I get that because obviously Lance is playing chess and he's used to other folks playing checkers. I'll say that a lot, but they were still with the truck. They were still one step ahead.
Yeah.
Because he even put the starter connector back together and got in there and it still didn't start. So I don't know if Daryl got around ahead of him because the thing wasn't pulled off.
Nope.
But I mean, obviously Maggie knows her way around a truck too, and the truck engine.
So she pulled
She worked on the
out.
farm.
So she disconnected the battery.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And it wasn't obvious for Lance, but how could they know that Lance would know his way around an engine? There's no way.
Yeah.
But
they, I don't think.
I mean, just to kind of like make sure. I mean, even that starter connector, like that one little connector, like most normal people wouldn't know that one little. I don't know.
I don't.
She did something else. So
she did something else just so that it.
It's like, oh no, there's the distributor cap's missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like obvious stuff like that.
I don't think she. I don't think they were thinking Lance knew stuff about truck, but he had somebody else with him that could have, and he would have been up there, and he would have looked at it and be like, "Oh, hey, Daryl number 2, come over here," and so that would have been.
Look in this engine.
Yeah. So, and that was like his first misstep. He was like, "What? It's not starting."
And that's when she pulled checkmate.
Yeah,
like,
she was like, "All right, could you just get out?"
This just became a sundown town.
Oh, Dylan. Dylan.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But that's what I was thinking the whole time.
Why? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just got myself.
So, but then like the "you're gonna die" move came when he had his trump card. He had his ace in the hole, which was the hat. And
because
he went up there, talked to Herschel, which you don't talk to angry mom's kid when kid is alone. You just don't. Talking to him, like, oh yeah, you should tell me the truth. Trying to egg him on and everything. It's like, it looks like you want to tell me.
Like he gave him opportunity to come clean at the first and kind of take advantage of him being a child, but he didn't know who he was dealing with, obviously.
Yeah. So he put the hat back on his head.
And Elijah's a ninja, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's like the second time in 2 episodes he just straight up come up behind somebody and get ready to murk him.
Yep.
It's just like
honestly, just came up against the wall. Lance said, hey, it's fine, everything's fine. And then every soldier everywhere also then appeared with their guns.
Converge on them. And then Maggie and Daryl, of course. And we get another Mexican standoff.
Yep.
And Daryl dropped the F-bomb.
Yep. Oh, did he?
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, yeah, he said, you're going to have a real effing problem or something like that. And I keep seeing online that Rosita said the F-bomb before, but like, so I think it's fuzzy, but that might have happened, like where Rosita said it before. But now Daryl has definitely, I mean, that was like clear as day. And so they're probably going to just bleep it out on the show when it airs next week. But on AMC Plus, definitely, it was clear, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, as soon as he turned and put the gun on Lance, he said, you need to tell them to drop their weapons or you're going to have a real problem.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, where's my... Yeah, and, yeah. There we go.
That's cool. All right, cool. Wow.
Yeah, which
And then
they should have been like. It should have been like this. Like originally, it was going to be on HBO, and HBO turned it down. This is what it should have been in the first place. It's just like raw, gritty, disgusting, throwing F-bombs. And could you imagine?
No.
How like
I don't wanna.
that would have been amazing.
It would have been
Like Game of Thrones with The Walking Dead, minus the brother sister thing.
I mean, they coulda. Who knows?
Please no.
It's on HBO. Anything goes.
But yeah, it could have been just like
Anything.
so. Yeah, so they're dipping their toe in the the mature content there.
So, just a toe.
Yeah, Daryl's toe.
But
So so then Lance has them stand down. Then they stand down, and Lance took it very personally. He's like, "Sorry, Maggie, I thought we could have been friends."
yeah,
And just whoop,
which ended up,
goes.
which this interaction I will label as a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gained any ground. Nobody lost any ground. You could label it as a win for Hilltop because they got Lance to just leave without finding.
Yeah, and Lance knows that they don't have the weapons.
Yeah.
And he's still looking. But at that point, like you said, Lance showed his hand, and so now everyone is fully aware of what it is. And that's when we have that meeting, that quick little meeting between Daryl, Gabriel, and Aaron. It's like, hey, we can't go back there.
Mm-hmm.
Like something else. Be ready. Something's about to go down.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, they find Leah in the woods, Charlie in the trees. I don't know where that woman went because she was sitting there cleaning that gun, and then she just like so purposely just got up and went and closed that tent. She's like whoosh, and I was like, wow, that was aggressive.
Yep.
But obviously she heard him coming.
Yep.
So and she went out the back, dug a hole. I don't know, but
I thought she had like dug a hole under, and she was under the blanket and just poking the rifle out. That's what I thought.
Except I thought so too, but she shot him in the top of the foot.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, she must have been in the tree or something.
How did she get up there that fast?
I don't know. She come out of the shadows because because they want her to be this big bad so badly. They just keep propping her up, and it's just like, just come on, it's not happening. Quit trying to make fetch happen.
She is Daryl's equal and opposite. These two characters' fates are intertwined.
We already did that with Carol. We can't do that.
Well, I mean,
like, if they were to set Leah up as like, so yeah, there's beef between her and Maggie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were to set her up as like, if she went to New York and she becomes like this,
a warlord,
some warlord in New York City. I mean, there's not enough time, I guess, but I could see that being some like final, like maybe years down the road, some final play. And that's why Maggie has to go to New York and she takes Negan.
That's a possibility.
That would make sense, except that no Daryl, which she would want Daryl to. She would call Daryl out too. But Maggie was the one that killed her people, and so there's beef there. So I would love to see that, but this seems a little, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But so yeah, they find Leah and Lance. Just dude is bold. Like he's got balls.
Yeah.
Like his people getting shot up, getting picked off, and she didn't actually kill anybody. So I guess he kind of read into that, but stepped out and was like, "Hey, I need to offer you a job."
Yeah.
And of course, it's personal, so he's probably just sending her, from the teaser for next week. She's looked like she's going after Maggie.
Yeah. She is the assassin in black. The woman in black.
Black Widow.
Oh, damn. Someone gets sued. I'm kidding.
The Reaper.
Oh.
The Reaper.
The
Not
Reaper.
Reapers. The Reaper.
Oh, I like it. Dang it, Dylan. She's a big bad now. She's a
They
mini.
they want her to be so bad.
She's a
like,
mini boss, if nothing else.
She. Okay. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, okay. Like, I'm not in, like, I like the actress. I like what she's done. I don't think it's I'm not putting it on the actress, but I don't think the story is
The story of Leah.
compelling. And I don't think Leah as a character is compelling enough to keep bringing her back like this. It's like she's played her part. Like they just keep on.
It was up until up until the point where she took control of the Reapers and Daryl left. It felt like that could have just been the end. Everyone go their separate ways, especially since all her folks got killed. But now it's
Leah's not gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, it has to be. But I feel like it has to be something else to drive her besides vengeance, because she's gonna just end up getting herself killed. And I kind of want her to
I would prefer, as a character, for her to do this herself and not just kind of like this opportunity with Lance just fall in her lap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, all right.
She stole the guns. Well, she's plotting, I guess.
She's plotting something. Would you like for me to upset you slightly?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, what if Leah is also a captive, but only for Daryl? She fails. She leaves wounded. She's in the woods up against a tree holding her stuff. Just like, I'm about to die. And then Lance's like, well, sorry this had to turn out this way, but you're fired. And shoots her in the head. And Daryl just so happens he was tracking her and he sees that final moment. And all he wants to do now is do nothing but kill Lance or destroy everything he has.
Like, I don't think that connection between him and Leah is that strong. Like, for him to just go all John Wick on Lance. Like, I could see him being upset, yeah, but he didn't do that with Maggie. I mean, he knows Maggie, and he's got reason to hate Lance already, or suspect Lance. But like, there were no consequences for Maggie besides just like, what the hell, bro? You know what I mean?
I mean, Lance is already starting to piss Daryl off, and like if he pulls that final trigger where he was about to, because he could have also like made the decision like, this is our second chance, or even if it's that, if like it's their actual second chance, and they decide to actually like leave at that moment together, but then something ends up happening and Lance ends up killing him.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't think that connection is there. I think that ship has sailed.
We'll see who's blood and who's head.
What?
We'll see who ends up with a bullet in their head.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're going, but as far as like him going all John Wick, or like, I think he's already decided that Lance is the bad guy. He doesn't need more to push him over the edge, and I don't think that would do it, because
he could be the.
I don't think he's still. I mean, I know Leah is still like was somebody to him, but I don't think after the whole situation with Maggie and all that happened and her turning on him, I think that ship sailed. Like he's done.
Maybe. Well, I mean, he still let her go. That wasn't a whim.
Well, I mean, that's what he told her. It was like, don't make me change my mind. He let her go.
Oh, we'll see. Because, Maggie did gun them down, and he didn't. But it's also Maggie, because Maggie also has power. If Maggie did, I don't know. There's too much plot armor and too many relationships.
Yeah. So like even the Maggie Negan Isle of the Dead spinoff that they announced like 2 weeks ago, even before this, the episode that's premiering tonight on the channel, even before that premiered on AMC Plus, they announced this. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan was even like, why did you not wait until after the moment when Herschel pointed the gun at him?
Yeah.
So that could have more more oomph, you
Yeah.
know? Because at that point we already knew, oh, this ain't gonna happen. Even though it was a great scene, Like that would have really just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
is Negan gonna make it? You know what I mean?
They told him come back.
Yep.
Someday.
I'll kill Bill on you.
Yep.
If you still feel off about it, come find me.
It seems like everybody who has a relationship could possibly have somebody to like lose to either make them double down on a decision that they've already made, or to switch to that side. Carol has Ezekiel. Eugene and Max are kind of in it together. They can go either way.
Yeah. Because they said they had been sneaking around, so I think they're
Yeah.
seeing each other.
Yeah. Lolita has a baby. That's about it.
Yeah. Her and Gabriel aren't really seeing each other
no.
anymore.
Gabriel has Aaron.
Daryl's got to. Daryl's got to get back to Commonwealth to get Judith and RJ.
He has children.
Yeah, so he's got to go back.
He has to go back.
So I guess that. I mean, plus there's got to be some more showdown between him and Sebastian. Like I don't think that's over.
No.
As far as if so, I mean, you know, of course, the rumor is that the Carol Daryl spinoff is fake, and it's to make people think he's got plot armor, but they're actually going to kill him off because he's going to play Ghost Rider in the MCU. So if that's the case, then I could see that building towards Daryl's death, and he gets Rick's death from the comic. But I can also see Mercer getting that death. So
I hope Mercy gets a happy
like it's got to be
ending.
somebody that's like important
Yeah.
that would cause riots. Because if Sebastian was to kill Mercer, who's the man of the people, you know, everybody loves, were to kill him off,
Yeah.
then yeah, I could see that causing riots and that being a real problem, and Lance using that opportunity to whatever
Yep.
to seize power, especially with Mercer out of the way and Sebastian's out of the way, and it's just straight up him and Pamela.
Frame somebody that did it. If he kills Daryl, I mean, there's options, and I think they're also building options as well.
Yeah, but
'Cause-
at the same time, like, I don't think Lance is gonna make it. He's in Carol's crosshairs.
Yeah. I feel like he'll, if it's not next episode, halfway through the third part, will probably be the end of Lance. But then it leaves the fact of like who's then the big bad. But then it could turn out to be Pamela, and that's why I say Pamela could actually end up dying. But most likely, it will be Sebastian without the reins.
Somebody's gonna die.
Oh. What if he do that Joffrey mess?
Explain.
What if, I mean, Joffrey didn't kill his dad, but I'm pretty sure if he had the opportunity, he would. What if,
Well,
I mean,
which dad?
yeah.
Season 1, King
Robert,
dad,
yeah.
Robert, or
I mean, season 2, he turned into a twisted little a-hole.
yeah, shooting
So-
whores with crossbows.
Yeah, dear God.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Sebastian. I think we're gonna get a scene with.
He's no Joffrey, but he's a brat.
He's no Joffrey, but he's a brat. But even a brat can turn into a monster very easily.
Yeah.
Him and his mom could get into an argument. And she be up there turning his head. She could have made him so mad just that one time that he just so happens to grab a statue and boop, right in the back of the head.
Or Pusher or whatever.
Pusher or something, some accident that Lance then has to he immediately Lance, get over here, something happened. It was an accident. Pamela's gone. Funeral, all that stuff. Make it really.
Sebastian's got to take the fall. Just lock Sebastian away, take control, and then.
Or he just
War.
uses Sebastian as if you don't want this ever to get out, you sit here, but I'm the one in charge.
Oh, making him a figurehead.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't know. So
And this is.
I don't think the Commonwealth is going to fall. There's got to be
yeah.
something else moving forward, and they got to have some sort of revolution. I don't think a resolution, I don't think they're going to leave it hanging with Lance in charge.
No, Commonwealth won't like it. I don't think Sebastian, Pamela, or Lance is going to end up being governor, president, whatever their title is, by the end of this show.
Mm-hmm. What if Lance was banished and became the warlord king of Manhattan?
Good luck, Maggie. Because he brought all his suits.
I mean, it makes sense in Manhattan.
Also, if something happens to Carol, it's going to be Ezekiel. If something happens to Ezekiel, Carol's just going to dip. Mm-hmm. It could be then Mercer. Yeah. If something happens to Ezekiel. Because I think there could be like a secret storyline throughout all this that is an Ezekiel redemption arc. Where Ezekiel will end up being king. He will be the actual king.
That would be great.
Yeah.
If they did end up putting Ezekiel in charge of the Commonwealth and letting him rule the Commonwealth. Yeah. That would be awesome.
So, I mean, that's a possibility.
And of course, he's got Gabriel to lead the flock.
No, Gabriel, you go.
And Gabriel's doing better.
He's doing better. But he has no problem just. Let's go.
You're playing as shit.
It could, like, after all.
But that's the best kind of priest. He's down to earth and grounded.
And through all this, it could be Aaron. It's not going to be Maggie because she's going to leave.
I thought maybe they were setting something up where Aaron could take Rick's death, but I don't see any direction going that direction. Okay.
No, not Aaron.
Okay, I was about to. I was like, inform me, sir.
I'm Babe Ruth again. I'm calling my shot.
Okay.
It's gonna be Eugene.
Eugene?
It's gonna be Eugene.
That he's gonna kill Eugene?
No, Eugene's gonna be in charge of the Commonwealth at the end of all this.
Really?
Yep. Calling my shot.
I don't know.
All right.
I could see Ezekiel being in charge and then him setting up like Gabriel, Aaron as outreach, Gabriel over the spiritual side or like a, advisor, and then Eugene as like head engineer and all that type of stuff, and he just sets up, which would be weird, because it seems like a coup and I'm setting up my friends. But I mean, as far as the audience goes, that would be that would be nice to see it end that way. Yeah. To know that they're going to be okay going forward and everything will be good. So that would be, some nice little crowd pleasing right there. I don't know. And Rosita is over the army because Mercer got taken out. You think Rosita's going to die?
Yep, Mercer's going to take that baby, though. He said, "Oh."
Mercer and Princess raising Coco.
Yep.
That's sweet.
I think Gabe might die, too.
There's a lot of characters have outlived their comic death.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like we have at least three major character deaths. At least.
They're gonna. It's gonna. One thing's for sure. Part 3 is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna
be shit hitting the fan every episode.
Train out of hell and not stopping until the end.
Mm-hmm. And that's usually how it goes in the seasons. The first half, it's kind of slow story building, and then second half of the season is just like full out sprint.
Yeah. So we'll see. I have nothing else.
All right. So I don't have anything else either. I don't think. Nope, I don't have anything else. It looks like next on The Walking Dead, episode 16, the part 2 finale is, so far from what I can tell, it's going to be titled God. But they've been kind of hit and miss with the titles here. Like this one actually ended up being what the internet said it was going to be, but the past few have been kind of changed up last minute, or like the Rotten turned into the Rotten Core, stuff like that.
He's dead. Gabriel's dead. Gabriel's gonna die. All right. Dead.
He's going to take the fall because he's in Lance's crosshairs. Maggie's in Lance's crosshairs. I mean, it seems like that's what she's doing. Is like they're going after Maggie, and Maggie is leaving Herschel once again to go. I don't know why Maggie needs to leave.
They just taking Herschel.
Where? Where are they going? To Alexandria? Like they're gonna leave this early? They still got all part 3 to do? I don't know.
We know nothing else about this show. This episode could be their whole exit, and that's what if it is?
We've still got to figure out connections to all these other communities and where Rick and Michonne went.
There's a lot of world building to do here.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of loose ends to tie up. A lot. If they're even going to answer where the zombies came from.
Aliens.
Yeah, like in the comic, right?
Yeah.
Which was like a blink and you miss it moment type thing. Excuse me. So, as far as spin-offs go, there's a lot in the pipeline. There is a new rumor that we're getting a Rick and Michonne spin-off. I don't know if that's going to like take the place of the Rick movies. That would make sense at this point.
Give me a 6-part miniseries.
That would be great. 6 hour-long episodes that are no filler, just straight up
doing
hardcore
stuff. Yeah.
Rick and Michonne. That would be amazing. That would be like the way to wrap it all up. That would be freaking amazing.
Yep. They tackle the huge questions and we'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because Daryl needs to see Rick again. Judith, RJ needs to meet Rick. Judith needs to see Rick again. We need to see Michonne again. We need Michonne and Judith and RJ back together.
What if they do some real sci-fi? And this is I'm halfway joking and halfway not. They do some real super sci-fi weirdness, and the Rick and Michonne series gets really deep into sci-fi to the point where they clone Carl. All right, there you go. I'll leave you with that. Oh,
They bring him back.
They bring him back.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Like, what was it, that one episode where they were in space and Michonne had a lightsaber?
Yeah.
Or not episode, but
like a comic.
Yeah.
It's
It's just all that. It's like
it's just all that.
in space.
Because they were trying to put an end to the zombie virus, and they figured it out. So they aborted the alien ship, and she got up there, and she had an alien friend who's literally was yellow and had like 3 eyes, and was like, "Argh!" It looked like that's the sound he made. So
That was actually the tie-in to Invincible.
dear God. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, rumors, you know. But we are confirmed getting the Negan and Maggie spinoff, Daryl and Carol spinoff. There, like I said, there are rumors that this is a red herring and that Daryl and Carol might actually bite the bullet. Daryl at least, and he's going to the MCU. You're getting the Walking Dead Origins spinoff, which is supposed to go back and cover other characters. I don't think Tyrese was mentioned at one point. Just kind of explore some of the backstory. Just some of the lovable characters that we really didn't get to see enough of. And then we've got Tales of the Walking Dead spinoff, which is definitely on, and they've got made some big casting moves in there. We've got Olivia Munn, we've got Terry Crews, a lot of other big names that I cannot remember right now. And supposedly there's a comedy spinoff coming, which is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's going to be along the lines of like Rick and Morty, Lower Decks, because I know Scott Gimple is a
cartoon
huge. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming, because I know Scott Gimple is a huge Rick and Morty fan, and he's always wearing his Pickle Rick lapel button.
He voiced a character in an episode.
Very possible.
Yeah, because they don't want their cameos, and I'll tell you what the cameo is.
That would be pretty great, though, to be honest with you, to have a cartoon spinoff that's connected, but it's not, and they just make fun of The Walking Dead the entire time. Like Robot Chicken.
Like Robot Chicken?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And that would probably be something they'd put on AMC Plus. Let's see. Then, of course, Fear the Walking Dead, the OG spinoff, is returning on April 17th after Part 2 ends. After a couple weeks. And then there's supposed to be a spinoff of the spinoff of Fear called Dead in the Water, which kind of covers the whole nuclear submarine thing or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really in touch with what's going on in Fear, but I from what I understand, there's a lot of shit hitting the fan right now. And what's his name? Strand is turned full bad guy and is in control of a tower. And all the main people that are left and all the new main people are.
Go watch episode 1 and
him.
listen to this description. And you'll be like, what?
Strand is definitely one like the strongest character of Fear.
Yeah. Morgan's over there too. But yeah.
Yeah, Morgan. I forgot about Morgan, of course. And what's his face? You got burnt by the iron.
Oh, Dwight.
Dwight is there too, if he's still there. But all this building up of the CRT and all this the science end of it and all these other things that are happening in the world but not connected, or it's somehow it was supposed they were supposed to. So with it airing between Part 2 and 3, I could definitely see this new season of Fear bringing things back around to connect with Part 3. So it might be worth watching. I know there's a lot that, if you haven't caught up on that, there's probably a lot of backstory that you need to catch up on. So I may watch that. I don't know. But
I'll watch.
I just want the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, I'll watch somebody else's YouTube video to catch me up.
There we go.
Because I don't want to.
Somebody drop a good link for us,
please. Because the thing that kicks me in the face about it is after you told me that, like, and it didn't matter that they died because I can still enjoy the ride, is the fact that all the other, like, original characters are dead except for the daughter.
Yeah, Alicia. And I think that she may or may not have died or is flirting with death. And there are rumors that Madison is coming back. And she was what I hated most about the series.
Where'd she go? Thought she died.
I thought everybody thought so too. It was one of those things that when they brought the old man back, remember he blew up in the building, and then they brought him back.
Yeah,
I think it was one of those situations.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they thought she was dead.
Because we didn't see a body. All right.
Exactly.
Whatever. Every time the Joker falls off a cliff.
Sprouts wings.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, there were some great characters. Madison just became completely unlikable. The actress, great actress, love her. She's amazing. But that character, horrible, not likable. I didn't like her at all. I think they tried too hard to make her Rick.
Yeah.
And then they killed off everybody else that was interesting, like the husband, Nick.
He was super. I liked the husband. I really liked Nick. I thought Nick was like, because starting off as a druggie and then ended up like the apocalypse.
He went kind of cuckoo there for a while.
He did,
but he was still like, I was like, okay, like this kid looks like Johnny Depp, like a young Johnny Depp, but he's actually very talented.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, all right, come on, what's about to happen here? He was, he got extra weird. There's like,
or he thought he was like in communion with God or something.
Yeah, he could control zombies. So I really thought, I was like, oh, this kid's either about to A, become a very big problem. Or B, he'll turn around and have a good old redemption arc and start using a sword.
It got very annoying there for a while. And for like 2 whole seasons, I was just like, okay, I'm done. But Strand, good the whole time. The whole time. Even though he was a little shifty and shady at first. With the ship and like.
They made so many stupid decisions. That's why I stopped watching.
Yeah.
That was like, all right.
And the inconsistency with the guts covering themselves up. Nick was just like a little spritzer on my face of blood, and I can walk among the dead. Like, okay, come on. That really turned me off because it was like, okay, this is supposed to be happening in the same world, but they don't follow the same rules, which was pain in the ass. Anyways, but from what I understand, like a season later after I quit, it got really good again. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just rambling now, but anything else?
No.
All right. So thanks for joining us. We hope that you will join us live next week, hopefully on Monday night rather than Sunday night, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget to please like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon, and whatever platform you're watching on, please subscribe and comment and let us know that you're watching. Just say hi or tell me if I have something in my teeth, whatever. Just say hi. But anyways, whatever platform you're watching on, let us know which one is getting the most views and has the most interaction there. So yeah, and don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. I'm Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.